it going? Today we are going to talk about why you should avoid moving to Tennessee unless you can handle these 9 negatives. So, stay tuned. Hey guys, how's it going? It's Tiffany Gudger here with Tiffany Gudger Real Estate, and welcome to our channel. If this is your first time to our channel and you want to know everything about living in Middle Tennessee right here in Nashville and the surrounding areas, make sure you go ahead and hit subscribe and click that little bell so you're notified every time we do a new video. We get people reaching out to us all the time and we love it. So make sure if you have any questions about relocating or moving here that you go ahead and give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. However you want to get a hold of us is fine. We work days, nights, weekends, and we've got your back when moving to the Nashville and Middle Tennessee areas. So, that being said, let's jump right into today's topic. If you are considering moving to Tennessee, we're going to go over 9 negatives that might change your mind. So, there's plenty of videos out there about why the volunteer state is so great, and I live here and I absolutely love it, and I think that the pros definitely outweigh the cons. However, there are some things that you should take note of if you're considering moving here. So, number 1 is going to be the weather. Some instances of the weather are actually pros, like we have all 4 seasons and that kind of stuff, but I mostly want to focus on the summer and the humidity here. It is absolutely crazy, and if you've lived in the South or visited some states near us, you know, like Mississippi, Louisiana, like those kind of places, they're very humid as well. It's not your typical dry heat you experience out west. We get big frizzy hair, we walk outdoors and we're instantly sticky and sweaty, and it's, 90 to 100 degrees, I guess, during the summer, during the humid times, and it feels way, way hotter. I mean, it is rough. So, during those times in the summer, make sure that you just stay inside and keep cool, keep hydrated, but it is pretty brutal during the humid seasons. And kind of to flip-flop right off of that into the winter time, our winters aren't bad here, so if you like snow, you might not want to move here because we don't get a ton of it. However, when we do, people don't really know how to act. They kind of shut down the city, and you can't really go anywhere. The roads aren't super cleared. So between the humidity in the summer and then if we do get snow in the wintertime, people here don't really know what to do. And so those are probably the 2 biggest cons as far as weather goes. Moving on to number 2 is our severe weather here. So we've got our normal weather that we talked about, but there is a threat of severe weather here, and it is intense. We do get tornadoes here. Most people don't know that. It's not super common. We had a pretty rough one in 2020, but it does happen here. So between the tornadoes and the flash flooding that we get, Nashville actually floods quite often. And when I say often, I mean every couple of years there's a decent rain, flash flood, nothing major. That's what flood insurance is for if you're worried about it. But the flash flooding here is crazy. Tennessee has some of the most water volume in the whole country. Between all the lakes and all the rivers and all that stuff, we just have a lot of water. So when we get these flash floods, it can cause neighborhoods in certain areas to flood, which causes, danger when traveling and that kind of stuff. So the flooding and the tornadoes are the 2 biggest things that we face as far as severe weather goes. Again, not super, super common that they're a big danger, but they do happen. Number 3 is going to be our bugs. If you don't like bugs, don't come to Tennessee. We have them everywhere and all kinds of bugs. We have your stink bugs, which we get a ton of them in the spring. We get a ton of ladybugs in the fall. We have wasps and ticks and, all kinds of stuff. Ants and anything you could think of, we probably have it here. So if you don't like bugs, Tennessee might not be the state for you. However, we have a pest control company that comes and services our house once a quarter and more often if we need them, and we don't really have to deal with it that much here at home. But if you are going to do some exploring out in the woods or in nature, just know there are bugs everywhere. Spiders, the whole 9 yards. So it's something I'm used to. I grew up in North Carolina and in the South in general, and I've been used to it my whole life, so it doesn't really bother me. But a lot of my clients that move here cannot believe how many bugs there are. So want to go ahead and forewarn you, it is a thing. So also, if you're moving here to Tennessee, it's important to take note our reason number 4, why you might not want to move here. Southerners move pretty slow. So there's an exception if you're in the city. There's some hustle and bustle and people are moving pretty quickly. But in Tennessee as a whole, there's a more laid back, kind of slowed down lifestyle. As well as sometimes we are a little slower to change and to grow industrially and that kind of stuff. Again, this is not including, Nashville, Knoxville, Memphis, and the big cities, because that's a little different. But Tennessee as a whole, the Southerners, we just like to chill and we move a little slower. We don't get in a ton of a hurry to do much. So keep that in mind. If you want some slower paced lifestyle, come on to Tennessee. If you're not interested and you still want to come to Tennessee, just choose a big city. So next on the list is allergies. If you have bad allergies or there's not something you've dealt with or you don't want to deal with them, do not come to Tennessee. We have allergies almost all year round. The pollen counts here are really high, and there's just a lot. And a lot of places, kind of like Nashville, sit in like a bowl or surrounded by lots of woods and trees and wildlife, and all of those places is where allergies come from. So if you're moving here, you've never had to experience allergies, you probably will when you get here. It's not a big deal. Take you a Claritin, an Allegra, whatever you've got to take. Even my dog is on Zyrtec. So it's just something that we deal with here, and you just know that when you come here, you'll probably sneeze and cough and have all of the things and symptoms that go along with having allergies, because they're really serious here. The next thing to keep in mind is you are not the only one moving here. Everyone is moving here. Despite all of these negatives, like I said, Tennessee is still a great place to live. So people are coming. They're coming in like waves and all kinds of stuff. So just know that there's a lot of other people moving here, which is driving house prices up. Cost of living is going up a little bit, but mostly house prices. We all know that lumber right now is astronomical. 200 to 400 times more than it used to be. So building has become a lot more expensive. We get a lot of people that are not want to be so cold in the wintertime. We are getting people that want to be warmer and or cooler in the summertime, coming up from Florida and those areas. And it's just a lot. So just know that when you move here, our traffic's just going to keep getting worse. You're going to have longer lines at your restaurants and all that kind of stuff. So if you want to go somewhere where other people are not interested in being, Tennessee is not going to be for you. This brings me into my next reason why you might not want to be in Tennessee is the roads here are terrible. So with everyone moving here and more traffic and more stuff going on, I don't know if they just don't have time to repair the roads like they should, but the potholes here are crazy. They're everywhere. They're big. The potholes have potholes. And I had several people that have talked to me about driving through here with trailers and getting flat tires on their trailers. And there's always road construction. They're trying to repair it, not getting it done in time while other roads are deteriorating. They just can't keep up. So that being said, the potholes here are pretty rough and the roads in general are not great. It is something that you kind of learn, and I've learned where the big potholes are to different places, and you just make your way around them. Or if you use Waze, the GPS app, it'll tell you when you come to a big pothole. So not the end of the world, but definitely something that I've had brought up to me on multiple occasions. So moving on, my number 8 reason that you might not want to move to Tennessee is that if you love being super close to the beach. Because if you haven't noticed, we're a landlocked state. The closest beach is probably 7 or 8 hours away. So if you have one of the Salt Life stickers on the back of your truck or your car, Tennessee is probably not going to be for you. We're not Salt Life people. We do have a lot of lakes and a lot of rivers and that kind of stuff, which again, kind of brings me back to why we flood so much. We are one of the states with the most water in it, which is part of why we flood. So just keep in mind, if you want to go to the beach, you're going to have to drive, or we have an airport that has pretty inexpensive flights through Allegiant to different places, so you can get there pretty quickly. But just know your Salt Life sticker is not going to fit in here. So number 9, my final reason on this list of things you should know about or reasons why you might not want to move to Tennessee is that Tennessee has a pretty high sales tax. So a lot of you may know that we don't have a state income tax. However, we make up for it with our sales tax. The state sales tax across the whole state is an even 7%. But then each city and county has local taxes that they pile on top of that. And it ends up having our sales tax throughout the state anywhere from 8.5% to 9.75%, with the majority being in the 9.5 to 9.75%. So that means for every $100 you spend here, you're going to pay $9.75 in sales tax. So that's a lot. We're probably one of the highest, if not the highest, in sales tax. So something else to keep in mind, or maybe just get online and order stuff from other states. I don't know, but the sales tax here is pretty high. So if that's something you're concerned about, you might not want to move to Tennessee. So there are my 9 things that you should know, and reasons why you might want to avoid moving to Tennessee unless you can handle these 9 things. So thank you for watching. If you're considering moving here or relocating or anything like that, make sure you go ahead and send us a call, shoot us a text, an email, however you want to get a hold of us. We've got your back when moving to this area, and I'm here to help however I can. So until the next time, guys, we'll catch you later.